Hello there. I just tried to make a short video, but it was going like 20 minutes, and like I wasn't even done. Um, so I erased it because I complained too much and spoke about too many details. Basically, I would like to focus on my health during my last years in Mormon cult and when I was leaving it. Maybe it will be helpful for some of you. Okay, I'll try not to complain. So, um, I will not go into details because it takes too much time. Basically, on my mission, I started to doubt religion, but I was blaming it on leaders, local leaders, not on actual church. Um, and it was causing cognitive dissonance. It's like, how is this possible while we have this rule, or how is this rule possible while the Bible says this and the Book of Mormon says this, and it was confusing. After my mission, I was already traumatized with all this stuff. Plus, I had physical health problems while I was at the MTC surgery. Like, uh, like I had a tumor in my leg, so I had to take painkillers. Well, after the mission, I was confused, like nothing was working, so I was depressed. I kind of at some point self-diagnosed myself with PTSD. Maybe it's something else, but I was getting triggered by stuff that reminded me of my mission or things that happened to me on my mission. Even while I was on the mission, I experienced like a few episodes of severe stress where that resulted in short memory loss. Like one guy yelled at me for not being true Mormon, like not doing the same things that were like early prophets doing and what's written in the Book of Mormon. So, basically, he yelled at me for not being fundamentalist. Uh, and I kind of forgot, remembered the incident, but I've completely forgot him. I didn't recognize him when I met him next time and talked to him again. That's when it all started, probably. Um, so after my mission, I was battling depression and stuff like that because of bullying and gaslighting um, in my hometown. I had to move to Moscow, where for a little bit it was a little bit better, but I had to uh, live in places where my neighbors or roommates were either like alcoholics with white fever. I don't know how it's called in English properly, but like he was hallucinating and screaming as if he is being tortured by KGB in his room. Um, Another neighbor in this apartment was a landlady with schizophrenia, who was talking to invisible beings, just like Joseph Smith did, but um, it's not some story like from 200 years ago. It's something I had to witness by myself. I was finding weird stuff in my food that I was leaving on a stove in a common kitchen. She was like stuck in the hallways or corridors of this apartment. Could have like screamed out of nowhere, stuff like that. She was a good person when she was sane, but when she was insane, it was creepy and I don't know, harrowing. Um, One of her sons was threatening me with violence because the bills for water were really high, and he blamed it all on me. While I was like, yeah, I was wasteful, but she was just turning it on and it was like flowing. And she was saying like, don't worry about it, I will pay for it, but she didn't, and blah blah blah. Anyway, the worst roommate I ever had was creepy patriarchal chauvinistic dude from Armenia. Like, I'm not racist, and I know nothing good comes out after saying I'm not racist, but this guy was stereotypical Armenian, just like from a joke or something like that. He thought that women should obey him. Basically, he was complete garbage of a person. I'm not saying that he's like I don't know, murderer or something like that, but he was depressed, like pathetic, like didn't have a job, um, like I don't know, like looked disgusting, like fat, bald, old, and he wanted to marry a woman who was a virgin and maybe like 20 years younger than him. Maybe something like me right now, but at least I understand that it's insane and it's creepy and disgusting. So, like, this guy was delusional. He's like, no, like, just because I'm me, I deserve a virgin wife that didn't even kiss anybody before she met me. It's like, dude, either get a lot of money or start working out. Then your delusional dream could become a little bit closer to reality. Anyway, um, and he was exploding every time. Like there was at least slight criticism on his behavior. Like he didn't want to mop the floors while everybody was doing this, and he was just like blowing up, just like I will never do this. Like even in the army, I never washed the floor, dude. You're balding, like everybody's like losing scales of their skin, and dust is basically what it is. Like everybody's making mess after themselves. Please help us clean. Nope, too pride, too prideful. Um. Anyway, like that was like this guy was like more annoying than an alcoholic or schizophrenic woman. So that's kind of like um, that was background of my life basically daily. Then there were like more conflicts in the church, um, and more bullying, gaslighting. Me, I'm trying to talk to them, figure out what's going on, why this situation even happened. Like maybe they would like to hear my side of the story, but no, like never did. So bullying, gaslighting, I'm like stressed, um, stuff. The funny thing is, um, like basically when it just started, like when I moved to Moscow because of this bullying and gaslighting in my hometown, um, my employer, well, like took blood tests of all the employees that would like that wanted to do that. It was tested, and like I was told that basically my blood was perfect. Like all the bad stuff was on minimal levels, and all the good stuff on maximum levels, and I felt like a superhero. But after that point, like it started to get much worse. So like all the stress going on, bullying in like in the church, then because of couple Mormons. I lost the best job I ever had, like also because I was stupid. But yeah, like I lost the job at the American Embassy, so it was another blow. Conflict with the sister missionary that I really loved and thought that she was like flirting with me because she was much more active in flirting than I was. Uh, and like, well, that stuff like gave me nightmares where I was like talking to her like normal people do, and we were like, yeah, we can be friends, we understand each other, cool beans. But then I was waking up realizing that it was just a dream, and like nothing close to reality, and I was just like whimpering every morning because reality was horrible, because I was betrayed by my best friend and like the person I really loved. um, Anyway, I had those dreams like every night for the first like 3 months maybe, then every other night for maybe like 6 more months, then maybe once a week, once a month, and right now I get this dream maybe like once a year, but still it's there. It's still like bothering me. It's still hurting me, um, and like well, I get triggered, like if a girl looks a little bit like this sister missionary, like I immediately start to think about her. Um, if there is like a word that reminds her last name, I'm thinking about her. Well, all this stuff. So, funny thing is like, well, well, like after the test of my blood test, like when I was told that like my blood is perfect, like in this period of time when I was working at the embassy, I was exercising like once or twice a week, like just regular exercise, like treadmill, like some machines in the gym, and twice a week I was fencing, like saber and epi, epee. I don't know how you pronounce it in English or French. Um, so like I had to be in good shape because I wasn't eating fast food. Everything was either homemade or normal, like average food bought in a store or restaurant. Nothing like too fat, nothing with chemicals or some stuff like that. So I was eating rather healthy. I was exercising like basically up to like 3 4 times a week. Um, but I started to get fatter and fatter. Like my normal weight before my mission, maybe like 10, 12 years ago, was 73 kilos. Like you can translate it to pounds if you want. Like I'm not going to bother, it's too complicated for me. And Americans should switch to kilos and metric system because it's freaking stupid. Anyway, um, like I used to weigh 73 kilos. Then I started to gain weight, but like it was still normal. But when all this crap happened, like my health problems, like before problems at the embassy, like I gained basically like 25 kilos, and my weight was almost 100. And I didn't know what's going on because I was active, I was doing things, I was like walking around, trying to avoid public transportation whenever I could, exercising, eating normal food, but I was still gaining weight. I didn't know what's going on. Um, so basically, um, like right now I know what's going on, but I didn't know back then. Before I figured out what was going on with me, I had tons of different tests. I had MRI for my brain because my mind was foggy. Like, um, I couldn't think straight. I couldn't speak well. I was getting fatter and fatter, but it wasn't like layers of fat. I was just, I don't know, bloated and watery, maybe. Like, I don't know how to describe it without revealing what really happened to my body. Um, so, like, walking for like 5 minutes became really hard. Like, my back was aching horribly as if it's like, I don't know, as if I was like unloading trucks for the whole day. Um, and I thought maybe my kidneys don't work well. I had them tested because I had a companion who had back problems because of kidney inflammation. Um, like what else? Like well, blood was tested many times, and first doctors thought that it's my liver, and I started to take pills for my liver, and I started to take shots in my butt, uh, like with vitamins and medicine, and like it was embarrassing when like my mother had to give me the shot or a neighbor, um, because like well we couldn't afford doctors to come and do it, and like anyway, what else was there? So yeah, speech was slurred. Sometimes I felt like I'm trapped in my head, like I'm trying to say something, and in my head it's there, it's going on, but I could not like push it out of my mouth. Sometimes I felt like I had to literally just like ugh, like push words out of my mouth, and it was so bad. It was like so like weak and slurred. I thought I had an aphasia, just like O'Brien from Star Trek, Next Generation. Then like my skin turned yellow, and like and it wasn't like Michael Jackson changing his skin color. It was just like randomly. I couldn't understand why. Um, and I was basically stupid all the time. Just like, huh, what, where am I? I should do this, whatever. I'm too tired. Like, like I don't know, I was like staring in one spot, just like guys fishing, and like thinking of nothing. Um, Turns out, like, well, after all these tests and after all the um, like personal research, I found out that like my symptoms look a lot like fibromyalgia or fibromyalgia and Hashimoto's disease. So I asked my doctors to test me for those things, and yep, my thyroid was pretty much dead. Um, so liver too. I don't know what started. Like, did it start with liver or thyroid? But those things weren't working. That's why I was constantly intoxicated and basically drunk because of, well, toxins in my body. They weren't removed through the liver, they were just accumulating. That's why my skin was growing yellow, like I couldn't process water normally, and like all the, like, well, vitamins in my food. So, like, I wasn't fat, I was just big because my body was accumulating water and toxins. I had second chin, and whatever we have right now, like whatever you see right now, it's nothing. I had something like this. I was like Jabba the Hutt, or the guy in first Jurassic Park, um, and I didn't know why. Well, now I know. And it's because of the stress, because of, like, well, stress does hurt your body. It makes you vulnerable to all kinds of disease, destroys your organs. Like in my case, it was thyroid and liver, and those things are, well, almost every organ in your body is vital to your survival. Even appendix has some purpose, at least for some time. Um, so before internet research, before I used ADA uh, phone app that analyzed my symptoms and told me that what's going on, what could potentially cause this problem, I didn't know what to do. So finally, like, doctors gave me like some good recipes for my liver to normalize it, um, and these pills for my thyroid. They look like this. They're freaking hard to get in America if you don't have a prescription specifically for, like, well, from your doctor. But in my country, one of the few last good things in my country is that if you need medicine, like, and it's not like forbidden by law completely, and you can go to jail for taking this medicine, you can buy it in any drugstore. Just go there, tell them like, hey, I need like like levothyroxine or L-thyroxine. You tell them how much you need, like how many micrograms is like are in one single pill, and they give it to you. Well, for money, and it's not expensive at all. Um, as far as I understand, like, you don't need prescription in any European country for them, but in the United States, you do need those. And like, you need insurance, and you need your doctor to prescribe it to you, which is annoying because what if you lost it? Like, well, it fell out of your like bag while you were traveling or something. And that's it. You have to go to the doctor, pay money for that, and then go to the drugstore instead of just going to the drugstore. Anyway, uh, before things were like diagnosed, one gastroenterologist, or how do you call him, this kind of doctors, basically like a stomach doctor, prescribed me a diet that was basically a suicide. It's like fatless food, like no red meat, only fish, but fish without fat, milk without fat, like cottage cheese without fat, everything without fat. And basically that excluded all the possible sauces and basically all the joy in the food. I couldn't realize how could this crab be eaten by a normal human being. And after a week of trying, I gave up and started to eat normal food. Still healthy, but normal. And fortunately, I didn't actually need that kind of food. All I needed is to figure out what's going on with my body and start taking pills. I still try to eat healthy, and I try to, well, like, whenever I have energy for this, I try to exercise, walk around, like take walks on the street, maybe go to the pond or river or something like that. But I'm still not completely myself, not like I was maybe like 12 years ago or even like 6 when things were kind of okay with my health. But I'm getting there. Um, I didn't lose all the extra weight, but just because my body functions better, I'm not 100 kilos, I'm 85-ish, so like it's better. And I'm like not really, well, like my exercises are like once a month or something, so I cannot count on them. Basically, not doing anything, but just having normal amount of hormones. Um, I have almost normal weight and almost normal health. And when I worked like at KFC, um, like when I like just started to take those pills, my weight was like 75 kilos at some point, just because I was walking around, I was talking to people. There was still stress, but like at least I was active and like I was doing things. So a little bit of exercises, pills, normal food, nothing like super unhealthy. Like they help. So like I know my message is too long, but at least it's not 40 minutes like it could have been originally. Basically, exercise, maybe not too extreme, like level, no CrossFit, but like a little bit of exercising, walking around, um, proper diet, and well, um, what else I was going to say? Yeah, I'm still kind of stupid. Yeah, taking pills prescribed by a doctor, um, like can help you. I know, like leaving the cult and like abandoning your like habits, your ideology, your sense of like superiority is really traumatizing and hard, like super harsh on your body. But you can like deal with those consequences. It's much better than staying in the cult, um, being bossed around by idiots who think they talk to God, like as if they were having schizophrenia. Um, and like, well, basically, uh, well, my mental and moral health is much better right now. Like, uh, I don't have moral dilemmas. Like, do I follow the prophet or do I follow my moral principles? I don't have to deal with this anymore because I know that like people like Joseph Smith and Brigham Young were sexual predators and doing what they did is not good, that I shouldn't repeat after them even though I consider them prophets, or like many more like active, not many but all active Mormons consider them, like believe that those people are prophets and they're perfect and blah blah blah, but they're not. There are things that are okay to do and not okay to do, and doesn't matter how you love or worship a person, if they do something wrong, you cannot justify their behavior. You should not do that. That's not healthy, that's not right, that's not even Christian. But like, well, while I was still a Mormon, that thing was like messing up with my brain. Anyway, I hope you are not too tired of listening to my monotone voice with like, well, and you will take care of yourself, of your loved ones. You will watch over your health. You will take tests, like to make sure that you're healthy. Like, well, visit your doctors like on constant basis to monitor your health, and don't let Mormons win. Because if you will let your life go downhill, if you will let yourself be depressed, pathetic, whiny, or just unhealthy, they will think that, like, hey, this is a punishment from God, you deserved it. No, it's just your body, like, fails because of the stress. No, like, punishment, no curse. The only punishment is the one you imply, like, well, like, basically put on yourself for staying in these toxic circumstances longer than you should have. Anyway, maybe I don't make any sense. I'm kind of tired and, like, well, it's hard to think. Just take care of yourself. Have a good time of the day.